Hi, my name's Roberta Lynch, and I'm the director of the Medfield Council on Aging in Medfield, Massachusetts. And I am thrilled to have been notified that we received a national award from the National Council on Aging and the National Institute of Senior Centers for our program, Minds in Motion. And with me is the instructor who has been with the center for over 5 years in different capacities, but Minds in Motion has been running for about 3.5 years, I think. This is Jerry Cianciolo, and maybe he can just give a little talk about his beautiful, wonderful program.
All right. Again, my name is Jerry Cianciolo. I owe this program almost entirely to Roberta, whose idea it was 5 years ago. She asked me if I could come in and do something stimulating, hopefully, for the people that participate. So we have sort of a threefold purpose. One is to stimulate minds. One is to help people sort of get to know each other and forge bonds and friendships. And the third is sort of to open one's mind and to actually gather some deeper self-awareness. So thanks to Roberta and some wonderful participants who have been with us for 5 years running, we have a fun program running.
And we have now for you an abbreviated class that you hopefully will enjoy.
So today's topic is optimism and its effect on health. So let me ask you before I give you the first challenge, Margie, do you think it affects your health if you're a liberal or conservative?
Interesting. That's an interesting. I thought you were going to
No, liberal or conservative.
Very condescending.
Does it affect your health?
Me personally, or people in general?
However you want to answer it.
Then I would say it could affect your health.
What do you mean by it could?
If you're conservative, let's say, and you are not open to other ideas, and you're stuck in your same lane, then if something happens, I think it could, have a real, you could have a problem with it, and that would affect your health.
All right, you're shaking your head, Claire. What do you say?
No, I don't think it makes any difference what you are in terms of whether liberal or conservative. I don't think that would affect one's health at all.
All right. Let's see. Tom, being liberal or conservative, will it affect your health?
Well, both would. I think today is a very crucial time in history because we've got things going on in this country that, with health, that people are not talking about. And this virus that's going to hit this country, and we got people in the White House that doesn't want to talk about it.
All right.
So it's going to end in April.
All right. So it could affect your health, not only in terms of the coronavirus. You
Yeah.
could get so upset that people are not doing enough about it that you get infuriated.
Yeah, facts.
All right.
Factual.
Bob, what do you think? Liberal or conservative? Does it affect you? Affect your health?
Yes, I do think it does. I think that the people who tend to be more liberal are setting themselves up for disappointment.
That's interesting. All right. Setting themselves up. Why do you say that?
Because I think that most people tend to be a little bit more conservative. And the people who are way out there, the rest of the people aren't going to go that far.
All right. Phyllis is way out there, so.
Well, I think the biggest problem is the fact that people they want to fight about it. They don't want to discuss it. They don't want to have a debate. They want to have a fight.
So it could raise your blood pressure.
Right, and it does a job stress. The stress is brutal.
All right.
So I just say, well, let's talk about the flowers and nature instead.
All right. Last word, Geraldine. What do you think?
I sort of disagree with it all because optimism is optimism, whether you're liberal or conservative. You
Well, I'm
have to be able to be
I'm not bringing in
optimistic about
optimism
something.
yet. I'm just asking you, does liberal or conservative affect your health?
Well, I was answering the wrong question. I withdraw.
Well, no, but that's good, because that's a perfect lead-in, because.
But I know it can affect your health.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you now, since you know it can, why do you say optimism affects your health?
Well, my last 5 years have been a medical malady, and I couldn't walk for a long time, and I was in a wheelchair, and all kinds of things happened, breast cancer, heart troubles, everything, and I just didn't ever let it get me down, you know?
So you were able
Because
to
I
stay
couldn't.
positive the
I had
whole
to-
time?
I had to get out of that rehab, and I had to get home, and, you know, I just had to think of all the positive things I wanted to do.
When I'm better again.
All right, but I can't imagine that you were just able to turn that on, so you must have been positive your whole life,
Well,
right?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty optimistic.
All right, all right. Richard, does optimism affect your health?
Oh, I think it does.
How's it affect you?
Well, if we could go back to the subject we were just talking about, whether you're a liberal or conservative, I don't think it makes much difference until a liberal is forced to live in a conservative environment and vice versa, then that makes a difference, right? I really think that makes a difference in your health, because your blood pressure is usually up, and you're forced to accept ideas that are contrary to your general feeling about things.
Ah, you're giving yourself away, so you are a liberal.
Yeah.
All right, let us dive a little deeper into this particular topic of optimism versus pessimism. So I'm going to pass you out a challenge, and we'll read it once you have it. It feels good to walk through life believing, for example, that your preferred candidate is going to win the election, that your disagreement with a friend will work out, that your financial investments will pay off. But once the election is over and your candidate has lost, or the relationship with your friend has soured, or your investments have tanked, then you're going to be more disappointed than you would have been if you hadn't been so positive. So I'm asking you which viewpoint, optimism or pessimism, is preferable in your opinion and why. So if you take a minute to think about that and just jot down your thoughts. All right, Jeanette, since you're new here, I may as well put you on the spot. For you, is it optimism or pessimism? Which is preferable?
Optimism.
Why you say that?
It's good to be hopeful and better than being a pessimist, which is a negative.
Well, why do you say it's good to be hopeful? What does it do for you?
Well, it's not as depressing as negativism would be, or optimism would be.
All right, all right. Judy, for you, optimism or pessimism?
I think optimism would give you the mindset to look for solutions to the issues that have come up because of things going wrong.
So you're a little bit more nimble if you're optimistic. All right, interesting. Pat,
Optimism, that would describe me.
you're usually Miss Negative.
No.
Don't pay any attention.
I roll with the punches. I just go whatever way
All
makes
right.
me happy.
All right. What do you think, Richard?
I think it's better to be optimistic, optimism. With optimism, you're only gonna be disappointed some of the time. With pessimism, you're gonna operate under a constant cloud.
Yeah, but does pessimism sort of prepare you for the worst in a way that's good for you?
But it's not good to prepare yourself for constant disappointment. You don't wanna do that.
But you're saying it's good for you to prepare yourself for constant positivity.
Well, yeah, but you're generally, most of the time, things are gonna work out for you if you're realistic about your expectations.
Margie, most of the time things are going to work out for you?
I think you're better off thinking that. I totally agree with Richard.
So you think things, for you personally, things work out most of the time?
Most of the time,
That's what Richard is saying.
no, he's saying it's better not to assume that things won't work out. That's what I agree with, because who wants to live like that?
But you're preparing yourself for the disappointments. Aren't you better equipped?
No.
Why
I
not?
think you're better equipped if you're an optimist, because you can roll with the punches. You can say, okay, this is a setback, but I can pick myself up and go on. But if you're always pessimistic, oh no, woe is me, I can't do this.
That sounds like Bill.
Well, optimism is the way to go, because physiologically your body is pretty dumb, but it takes direction from your brain. So when your brain is optimistic, it's sending good messages to your body, which lower your blood pressure and everything. And
All right.
Good answer.
That's a perfect one.
Well, we gotta see if Bill knows his stuff. That might not be true. Just a second. Claire, what do you think?
Optimism, of course, because I think pessimism drains one of energy. It creates a bleak atmosphere around a person who's a pessimist. It encourages failure because you think going in, oh, it's not going to work. And I can't see that it serves any useful purpose at all.
All right, so who are the closet pessimists here? Somebody, don't give me, this is like 15 people here. Somebody's a pessimist.
Nina, I thought you said in the
Nina!
past you are.
No,
Good.
no.
Miss Negativity.
No, I put optimism, get over it and move on. I agree.
That's
All
good.
right, let's see. Sylvia,
My
wait a minute,
mother-
conjure up some of that
No, my
childhood
mother-
you had that you didn't like
Mine
and,
is a story on my mother's story, live in hope and die in despair. So if you have someone that you really believe in, live in hope and let the friend die in despair.
let your friend to die in despair,
I
Charlie.
can't, yeah.
Charlie, what do you think of that?
Know the friend now.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
I
can't.
just expect the, obviously think the worst. You know, oh, well, this is not gonna happen. You always think positive, but be ready for the negative.
See, we have a part pessimist right here.
Yeah.
So you're saying it prepares you more to like face disappointment.
Yeah, you expect the best, but prepare yourself. 'Cause
There's nobody in this room
nobody
who agrees with
the
you.
best. But you gotta be positive, but
All right.
sometimes things don't work out the way you want it. So you gotta.
Yes. All right. Well, it turns out, according to research, some as recent as last year, that optimism does have its share of health benefits. So let's take a look at those. This is from the Journal of American Medicine last year, and they examined or interviewed or spoke with a total of 240,000 people, 250,000 people. And so here's what they found. People who rank high in optimism are much less likely to have a heart attack and have a lower mortality rate from any cause than do pessimistic participants in the studies.
That makes sense, makes sense.
That's quite phenomenal that it affects your heart. All right, and so one of the lead researchers said, pessimists bathe their bodies in damaging stress hormones like cortisol and norepinephrine all day long. Pessimism increases inflammation in the body and fosters metabolic abnormalities like diabetes. Now, obviously, except for Charlie, everybody in this room is, you will have to deal with some of those problems. Everybody else is fine. All right, let's look at another one. This is from Circulation Research 2 years ago. It said, on average, those with higher levels of optimism as measured by the life orientation test live longer. And guess what? You are going to take the life orientation test.
Oh, good.
So among the most optimistic participants in this test, women had a 50% greater chance of surviving to age 85, and men had an even greater chance, 70% greater chance of surviving to age 85, simply by sort of summoning up the optimism and living positively. So the lead researcher said, optimism promotes problem solving. Who said that? You sort of said that, Bill. Judy, you said that. All right. It helps people deal with challenges and obstacles in more effective ways. Their hearts are not constantly pounding. All right, in the last study, this was drawn from the Women and Nurses study and included the Men and Veteran Affairs Normative Aging study. But it says optimists are better able than pessimists to reframe challenging circumstances and react to them in less stressful ways. They're also more likely to embrace a can-do attitude toward life and persist in trying to overcome obstacles. So, I don't know if it matters being liberal or conservative if it affects your health, but at least according to the recent research, being optimistic certainly has its health benefits. And now, we have reached the end of this session. Now, for those of you who've never come, if you'll come back starting March 10th, we'll actually pursue this farther, and we'll give you the life orientation test, so you'll see how optimistic or pessimistic you are. And then every session is different. You know, sometimes we'll do art, sometimes we'll do, I think I said we did the existence of God. One time we did Shakespeare. One time we did emotional intelligence. So the range of subjects is all over the place, but what ties everything together is that everybody participates in these kind of challenges. There's probably 3 every session. But anyway, thank you for turning out for this short session, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.